Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Don't be shy about the mics.
Oh.
Come right up to them. That'll give the NPR effect. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. It's a little too quiet. It's the Ferndale Library podcast. It's brought to you by the Friends of the Ferndale Library. I'm Jeff. I'm always here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm joined by Emma again. Emma.
Hi.
Emma. You always have such enthusiastic hellos.
I try.
Even though you just said hi and not hello. Appreciate you being here. Emma is a librarian here who develops the romance collection, amongst many other things. But Emma, I feel like if I was listing bullet points, that would be the one you want at the top of the list.
Yes. The romance collection is my baby.
How long have you been an avid romance person?
I can pinpoint it directly to my freshman year of college. My roommate went out to like a frat party, I think, or she just wasn't in the room. And I read Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren in 4 hours. And then it spiraled from there.
If anyone saw this podcast and pressed play, you'll see that we clearly have a guest and I haven't introduced her yet. It's Erin. It's Erin Cambron. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
From Love and Other Books, literally our neighbor across the street from the library, a purveyor of at least 50% romance books. Erin, welcome to the podcast.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
You have EC squared today.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You're-
Look at that.
Emma, also an EC. But we need an M. We need matter. So I guess I'm an M. There's an M in there in my last name. Let's talk about math instead of romance. And like physics and cosmology.
See, and I didn't even think of the Einstein part of that. I just was like, oh, me and Erin have the same initials. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I didn't think of the E squared, whatever.
EC squared.
Yeah.
So I think Erin opening up a bookstore, I feel like you did it in the summertime. Has it been 2 years yet, or is it one? Time is a flat circle and my brain is mush.
It is coming up on 2 years
Amazing.
in August.
So exciting. Congrats.
But Love and Other Books existed a little bit pre brick and mortar, didn't it?
Yeah. For maybe like 4 or 5 months, we had a pop-up, which that's how I met Emma. When I first grabbed the handle on Instagram, Emma was like one of my first followers. I think it might have been the like algorithm location thing. I was a romance girly and that must have captured her.
Yeah, I saw Romance Bookstore and I saw Ferndale and I was like, and at that point, Ferndale just had John King, the library bookstore. I think that was it.
That's about it.
So I was like, wait a second, a fiction bookstore about romance near me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember walking up to Erin when she did her pop-up at Drifter, and I feel like she recognized me from my Bookstagram, and I felt so famous.
And like likewise,
Yeah,
you followed me and you came all the way. I mean, you didn't. Drifter's not that far, but like you came.
Like I came
to see
specifically.
me.
Yes.
Yes.
Aw. And you popped up by Drifter, the coffee shop over there?
Yeah, they do, because they do the little markety thing. So she did pop-up of Love and Other Books
Amazing.
pre brick and mortar, and that's how we like met in person for the first time.
Yeah.
And she hasn't gotten rid of me since.
I mean, plug to Drifter. Like, Drifter was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a pop-up bookstore. And that was one of my first pop-ups that like started me getting people on board to what Love and Other Books was.
That's rad. I've lived in Vernon my entire life. It's basically just been the library bookstore and John K. King for like forever until recently. So now we have Love and Other Books. We have Whistler's Daughter too.
And there's another one opening up where
right.
Rouge used to be the
Well,
corner
they are
shop.
open. Yeah.
Oh, they're already open?
Yep. Mhm.
Oh,
Cool.
I missed that.
Yeah. But we're so glad you're here, Erin. Bookstores, books. What's your history? How do you get into books and bookstores?
Oh, I come from a family of book lovers, so it's just been inbred through my life. And I read classic books like Pride and Prejudice, all the Jane Austen. That's really where I went. But I just wanted something after teaching. I was a teacher for a while, and it just wasn't doing it after I had kids. So I decided to try something else, and I wanted to be in the book community within Metro Detroit area. And so I know there was in one of the main bookstores was Sidetrack that I would go to. I went to some of their events, but I just was like, I really want to create a space like Sidetrack in Ferndale. Ferndale deserves that. And so I decided that we were going to run with this dream.
More than 18 months in, mission accomplished. So congrats on that.
Thanks.
Classics. Any Brontes too, or anything else like that?
Yes. Yes,
but are you going to wade into that Wuthering Heights drama?
I feel like I've already waded into Wuthering Heights. Okay. Yeah, I've been excited about the movie coming out, and I liked it from a movie standpoint, like an entertainment value,
Sure.
but it didn't itch, scratch my itch on the classic feeling to it.
How did you know that romance was, and I'm assuming your favorite genre, the genre that you found most satisfying?
Oh, I don't know. I grew up on like the Princess Diaries, Meg Cabot, Sophie Kinsella, stuff like that. I just grew up on that, so it was already kind of in my like interests, I guess. So that naturally parlayed into reading romance, starting with, when it's I feel like appropriate, like a YA level romance, See,
and like I had a very interesting journey with romance because I went to, for the spoilers for other podcasts, I went to Catholic school, and Catholic school usually gives you a lot of thoughts on what to read and what you should be reading and what you should not be reading.
Before you finish that sentence, I was just going to say guilt.
It's so much guilt. And I'm not going to dig into the whole purity culture of it all.
Sure.
But reading romance didn't really like fully start for me, besides outside of like a Wattpad format, till college, because that was when I felt like it was okay, which is so weird to say because I feel like as long as like you know what's going on in the vibes, I feel an autonomy to read. But like that was when it felt like I was allowed to read romance. And when I read Josh and Hazel's Guide, I was like, oh my God, should I be reading this? Like, what is happening right now? Like I felt like all of my like dead Catholic relatives were all staring at me while I was reading it. But so it took me a while to get to like general romance as a thing, but I did love like it doesn't count as romantasy, but my favorite like book series that got me into reading was Maximum Ride by James Patterson, supposedly.
Oh wait, I feel like I've heard you say that out loud once, and I still can't believe it.
It's so bad because it's a ghostwriter writing each book, and nothing is ever the same. James Patterson, please don't sue me.
He'll never find us.
He'll never find us.
He doesn't listen to this podcast.
But
unless you do, James, email us.
Hey, we'd love to chat.
Yeah.
Libraries love James Patterson. It's like a commonly known thing. But like the main character's hair color isn't different in every book. But there was like the tension between the main characters, Max and Fang, and Fang is like the dark, broody bad boy. Like I feel like he was like one of the first ones in that era. So like the romance between them also kind of started that like little bit of a journey. Also with the fantasy aspect of they all have like 6 foot wingspan.
Do you think I guess the way romance is perceived has evolved? That's a yes no question, but like I feel like in the 90s it was particularly still stigmatized as like those bodice ripper covers. Talking out loud, does it feel like somewhere in the pocket of like 08 into 13 those YA books really like, and it could be anything from that endless playlist stuff to Perks of Being Wallflower. Obviously there's some drama in there, but they are romances at their heart kind of. And then I feel like after that, I feel like a new wave, I'm gonna declare, comes after that. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe even like the birth of the like true rom-com on TV made it also like a big
I also think COVID, and I don't want to give TikTok credit, but a lot of resurgence in bookstores did come during the pandemic when we were all locked inside our houses and we were on Book Talk and everybody was trying to find those It Girl books. I also hate giving credit to Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros because I don't personally love them, but their books did bring a lot of people back to reading.
Right. And I don't know if it's the YA books that Erin was referencing from earlier in the millennium or whatever that brought this later generation of adult writers who were like, wait, we're gonna bring some of that energy, but also just deliver it into the adult fiction area.
They serve a lot of like, I feel like a lot of authors like to serve like, this is your childhood, but make it sexy, and in the least weird way possible. Sometimes they don't hit that mark, but I think that is something that does play into it, is like taking these books that we grew up with. I also give credit to the Accelerated Reader Program. I don't know if anybody else had to do that or if it was just of my era where we had to read books and take tests and get points. And the more points you got, I don't remember what you got for it, but like it was like important.
The 90s and like early 2000s definitely started the trend of like rewarding Pavlovian like rewards for reading kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Because you get the pizza party. I remember
Yeah.
distinctly in like 5th grade getting like the theme that year was like movie theaters, and you'd color in a circle bulb, like a light bulb for every like 20 pages or whatever you read, and the amount you turned in, you weren't competing against everybody else. And I also feel like a lot of adults are chasing that high still.
For sure. Yeah. The like, if I fill this in, I get to the next book and things like that.
Yeah. It's prime example. I have a good noodle chart for me because I have an ungodly amount of unread owned books, and every time I read an unread owned book of mine, I get to put a little smiley face sticker on there, and like every certain amount of stickers, I'm allowed to buy like a book, 5 books, or 7 books. I think I'm at 21 stickers right now that I'm holding on to because I'm going on a couple trips in a couple weeks, and I'm going on like indie bookstore crawl day in Columbus, which is gonna be crazy. But like, I had to give myself a good noodle chart to really get it to kick off.
I finally formulated my thought. The aforementioned YA boom that I keep referencing, I feel like it made it okay. Like people, oh wait, so people aren't going to look down on romance or stigmatize it anymore. It can open up the floodgates, kind of a thing.
Yeah, like the advent of the really big love triangle with Edward, Jacob, Bella, Peta, Gale, Katniss.
Oh my gosh, the whole Twilight situation.
Twilight and Hunger Games.
Right.
Divergent, I don't know if it had a love triangle, but that one was also really big in that time.
08 to 13. What an era.
The Fault in Our Stars.
The Fault in Our Stars. That's the one I was trying to reference, yeah. That's what I was trying to get to. I have a
John Green owes me for emotional damage
Dylan
to this day.
Dermot Mulroney thing with that, and Perks of Being a Wallflower. I probably read them in the same year. So has it seemed like there's just been more and more and more romance books? Erin, like, is there like a tidal wave over the last decade?
For sure. The market is flooded with romance books.
But that makes it good for a romance bookstore.
Wonderful for a romance bookstore, for sure. It made it possible to be able to fill our shelves, with what we really want on the shelves. But also from a romance reader perspective, there is so much out there you can find in terms of like representation or interest level, things like that. In terms of if you love Indiana Jones, there's an Indiana Jones romance.
Right.
Like truly,
Like,
there
we
is
just
for
read
every
it.
interest level, there is a romance book out there for you.
You went even more niche. I was going to be like, if you like cooking, there's lots of cooking romance books.
Nope.
But you're like, actually, no, let's just go even further. Indiana
Straight to
Jones.
archaeology.
Straight there.
Oh my god, that also makes me think of like the Amy Dawes romance where it's a like lumberjack man in the woods who wants to become like a father. So he like goes through an interviewing process of interviewing women to maybe have his baby, but then he falls in love with one of them.
Yeah. 9-month contract.
9-month contract, yes.
Oh, wow.
That is not, that is a complicated scenario.
Yeah.
And there's a romance book out there for it.
Yeah. If you ever find yourself applying to be a lumberjack's baby mother, there is a book for you.
Yes.
also something that just happened that I needed to bring up about like all of the big romance booms. There's an AI romance coming out.
Nope.
It's so bad.
Nope.
So with the
Like about or written by?
and the thing is,
Or both?
And the thing is, perhaps maybe both.
I mean, is this like
It's called My Brilliant AI Boyfriend, written by Stella Hayward. Frankenstein meets the love hypothesis, and this guy creates an AI to be this girl's like perfect boyfriend because he's like scared of himself not being good enough. I don't know.
Wow.
Men just be better.
Wow.
I really don't know if this is the start of a flood of those,
I'm
or
scared.
if it is a loner in a market of authors and readers that don't want to see
Or-
a
yeah.
book about AI.
Right. Or yeah, like, is it its iceberg and this is like, well, you can't go. No, this
The
is it.
comments are overwhelmingly negative. I did comment, nobody asked for this, and it does have over 20 likes now.
Sure.
And every comment is the same. So there are niches, and there are weird niches that come out. And also that brings up HarperCollins and Harlequin doing AI shorts now.
Oh,
AI
yeah.
romance shorts.
They got me with that.
So, can't believe this is more than a decade ago. There's a movie called Her, where Joaquin Phoenix has a relationship with AI, but the movie's intent is to have you sit with it and say, is this okay? But is the tone of these books being like, oh, it's okay? Is that like the vibe? Is like, oh, it's cute. Like, I am legit in love. And
It says Frankenstein meets the love hypothesis
Oh
in
my
this witty
gosh.
STEM romance where a scientist AI program builds itself a body just to ask her out. Torn between her unexpected creation and her infuriatingly attractive academic rival, Ava finds herself at the center of a love triangle, questioning if her idea of perfection is truly what she wants after all.
So
So she has an
is-
AI boyfriend, which is
and it's saying yes.
it's saying like,
to it.
Yeah, it's like a. Yeah.
It's saying yes. So there are a group of books, usually in the literary fic or sometimes in the sci-fi or dystopian, where AI is a character in the book. But it's a lot of it ends up like you were saying,
Sure, like
where
muddled.
this is not okay.
Right.
should I be
The
in
moral
love with a
of the
robot?
end of the story is that we're not into this.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. But this seems like a different story, and
No,
I'm
this seems
not
like
sure how it's going to play out.
The one lady, my hairstylist actually told me about this the other day, that a YouTuber she likes did a whole video on this girl who was on My Strange Addiction because she has an AI boyfriend, and his like image is like an octopus, and she's written with AI romance books with him in it.
Take us away from this, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
I need
I will.
to not be angry. This is a library podcast.
It was just a perfect segue because I was like, I need to yell about this somewhere, and this just happened to be the outlet where I could yell about
keep
it.
hoping that AI is going to be the next NFT in Bitcoin. And I don't know if that's true and when it's going to happen, but saying it out loud feels good.
Yeah.
So
I was reading the 300s recently, which is like our political science and a big bowl of other set of books. And there was a NFTs for dummies. And I was like, remember when these used to be the biggest issue? And I hope that's how generative AI data centers all ends up one day.
It's a big laugh.
can you guys remember any, and not verbatim, but like any conversations or chats from people that you've talked to about romance books who've come into the library or come to the bookstore and they're like, hey, I'm looking for this, or hey, do you have something like this? Like, what do you think the people out there are looking for? Because there is so much more than just the AI. Come on, there's like, we haven't even touched on the highly spicy stuff yet.
Right. Gosh, I'm trying to think. I know a lot of queer romance is being more widely read instead of just for queers reading queer romance. Now, especially with the advent of heated rivalry,
Yes, indeed.
there are just a lot more people, men and women of all orientation, reading queer romance,
Okay,
which
yeah.
is like, it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels joyful. And I love to be a part of it. Like, I love to see it when people are rolling in asking for the same, It's like
I did have a patron come in and just ask
Hopeful.
for sapphic, which is two women, relationship sapphic book recommendations, and I quite literally gave them probably double digits worth of books from our collection, and she was so excited about it, and like I was just like, that just made my heart happy. I also, again, in my eternal struggle against the Sarah J. Maas and the Rebecca Yarros, I'm always looking for different romantasy to hand to people, and one of the ones I always go for is Nisha J. Tooley's Trial of the Sun Queen, because it's very ACOTAR, but also very smutty and also very silly at the same time, and very addictive.
What was that word?
Smutty?
Nope. Before that, ACOTAR?
oh, Akhtar, yeah. Oh, do you not know Akhtar?
ACOTAR is the abbreviation for A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is Sarah J. Maas's. I don't know if it's her. It is probably her biggest series.
It is.
It's a
absolutely.
very popular book.
Yeah.
But I love that you have kind of like this.
I will also add, I have read almost all of Sarah J. Maas's books. I am an informed
So
hater.
you've earned this.
I'm the Mary Graham today. I am
Yeah.
the informed hater.
You've earned this.
I've read up through Throne of Glass up until Empire of Storms, and they said velvet wrap steel in reference to a penis, so I had to stop.
She just went on that.
I did. I committed to it.
But
And I've left Jeff speechless.
no.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the ability now to give someone double digits worth of books to meet that recommendation for sapphic romance. I'd love to hear from both of you, like what the experience was, but even just like the emotional feeling was of building something like this. Emma, you had books that were romance threaded into our collection, but not separated, that you could sort of build from. Erin, I don't know if you like are building from ground zero. Like, what is that like? Was it daunting? Was it fun? What was challenging about it? What was fun about it? I said fun twice.
It started from every book that I had read. And I had read a lot of books through postpartum, like, 150 books a year kind of thing, because I'm sitting there with my baby and you can just read.
Yeah.
So it started with all my interests. And I guess funny story beyond that is that it started with just my interests, but I am a very limited person within my reading taste. And then being able to get booksellers recommendations and random people coming into the bookstore and saying, you should really stock this. Like, it's wonderful. My stock at the store is based off of, it started with me, but now that's a tiny fraction of what we have. Now it's just like
You have the Tyler, the Kayleys, the Taylors, the
a ton of variety.
whole bunch.
Yeah.
This is also a bookstore that features a lot of children's books, picture books.
Yeah.
We didn't even touch on that.
Yep.
And that's the other books.
Yep.
I guess just tell us more about that format that sort of like that really sets you apart.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
My number one mission, and I was literally talking about this today because someone asked me, and I won't mention who, my husband, asked me when we were getting rid of the play tent. And I was like, never.
I think you would have people rioting.
Yes. I said, never, honey. And he said, but it's taking up so much retail space. And I'm like, yeah, it is. You know what? But I was talking about the number one mission of why we wanted this bookstore is that parents who could come in and know that their kids were safe in the play tent, safe in our children's corner, could shop for themselves with a lower affective filter.
Sure.
They weren't nervous about their child breaking something, or they couldn't see their child over the bookshelves. And so the number one mission was having parents go into a retail space and be able to shop for themselves and their kids without feeling anxious. And that's where I was in my life when
Sure.
I built
Sure.
the mission.
Sure.
Is I had young kids And I wanted to go into a bookstore and look at books without being afraid that my child was ruining everything. And so that was what it was born of, is a mom who loves to read romance, wanting to go into a store and get something for my kid and something for me.
Amazing. Intentionality. We should all be able to find the books we love with a regulated nervous system. I like that.
In theory.
In theory.
We might make better like financial decisions that way.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
With our collection, we had like a pretty decent sized romance collection to start. And I have to say that because my wrist from shifting books felt like they were broken for the next week after moving everything and being here till like 10 o'clock at night, moving all of the books, which honestly, being in a library lock-in, kind of a fun thing to do. I watched a lot of Bob's Burgers with my coworker, Sam, while we did stuff. I will say, I still to this day, I have a wish list built together of backlist titles of big series that one day I do want to get whenever I'm able to, because there are some like big ones that I do think we're missing that I want to add. But always, first and foremost, whenever I'm ordering something, I look at every single book and I make sure the cart isn't all white authors. I make sure it's not all straight books. Sure. I make sure there's some fantasy in there, because the fantasy romance, I sometimes split between me and Michelle. We both just kind of go like, which way do you think this leans? And kind of just go by vibe. I have a red, in my color coding system, a red sticker for anything paranormal fantasy. But
it must be so hard to do that. Like, I'm thinking my shelf, I have at the bookstore, I'm like, it's just off vibes, guys. People come in all the time and they're like, how is this organized on your shelf? Like by alphabetical order? And I'm like, no. It's vibes, guys.
I love it.
I remember like some of the first time shopping in your store, and I'd just be staring, and the librarian brain in me was like, I need to move things.
These are two mindsets here.
I was like, well, also my books at home are in alphabetical order by author.
Of course they are.
Born librarian.
Exactly. So I remember being like, so I feel like I was one of those people who was like, so how are these organized? And you said vibes, and inside I went, But so yeah, so like I really work on trying to create like, because a lot of the romance that is like super popular and super pushed is by like white straight authors, and I'm trying to avoid having a collection that is all white straight authors, especially in Ferndale.
Sure.
So that's like one of my main things I think about every month when I order, even though I also know every time Allie Hazelwood or BK Borison puts out a book, I have to get multiple copies, because the people, including me, I am the people, will eat that up and will want to be able to read it on release day. Like I had a friend who comes here and she was so excited to see that we had BK Borison's and Now Back to You on release day. She checked it out on release day, returned it the next day, and I said, what kind of witchcraft did you just do? And she goes, I just read it and I really loved it. But she
gotta love that woman who read it and then made the concerted effort to come back on the next day and return it.
It was
for the next person who's
it was Emily.
Yeah.
So I was like, that is so very impressive.
Yes.
And I was also mentioned in the group chat, they were like, shout out Emma for having it out there right away.
Emily Jack, you're an all-star
Exactly.
patron at Ferndale Library.
Oh, nice.
She really is.
Nice.
She really is.
Tangent that I might cut. There was a movie that came out recently. Was it called The Housemaid?
Yes.
That's not romance, is it?
Not
Is it more
really.
thrillery?
It has okay, so this is the distinction here, is it has romance in it, but it's not a romance.
Gotcha, because there's a subplot that's romantic.
Yeah, romantic subplot, but then there's also, it's mostly focused on the scary man locking his wife, housemaid, in a room. I don't read Frida McFadden
Okay.
on principle, and also just to use a sound from TikTok, I feel something awaits me in the divine for resisting.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that's kind of where I'm at, but
Shout
I
out.
also don't like a lot of Sydney Sweeney.
Well,
too.
I was gonna say, but there's romance adjacent properties are always in the news. There's a lot of romance books being adapted into movies. Wait a minute. So this whole is it I don't mind being ignorant. Hoover, Colleen
Colleen Hoover.
This whole movie that came out of that and has a whole like lawsuit about it. That's not romance either, is it? It's more thriller.
So that's It Ends With Us. It is considered a romance, even though I'm pretty sure it's like he beats his girlfriend up a lot.
Yeah, there's
and
like, okay. So I'm not being productive in this podcast. So
basically we have Colleen Hoover in our romance collection just because we know that's where people will look for Colleen Hoover.
That's where I'm getting the people who come thinking.
People who come think the romances.
Is this romance?
And
that's the part I'm playing.
Her books are constantly getting adapted because they're just reminders of him just came out. And everything I learned about Colleen Hoover is against my will. But she's also one person who also has brought a lot of readers back into the space, and I do give her.
She's the gateway. She was the gateway drug back into reading full time. Sure. I think there will be there. It's smart. It's two-pronged. It's the people that love Colleen Hoover, like love her,
sure,
and the people who love to hate her, who will also watch those movies. So,
but there's this other new wave with Heated Rivalry, right?
Yeah.
I imagine a bunch of people came in the store saying, "Do you have a copy?" I'm sure, like we had tons of holds on it.
Oh my god!
And that's a series, so there's more to it. So yeah.
Yeah, I bought all 6 books, and as soon as I like scanned them to process them, they all went on the hold shelf. Most of them to the same person, but they all went out, and we now have. Kelly has also ordered 2 additional Lucky Day copies of Heated Rivalry, and one of Game Changers, and one of another one, I think.
Okay.
But there's not, and I'm still nervous because Heated Rivalry is our June romance book club pick because of both Pride Month and also because that's when the Stanley Cup finals are.
Oh, nice.
I did Google it. Yeah. I did.
Way to go. Way to make it a double effort there.
I really try. I've also had many book club members asking, can we watch an episode during book club? And I said, I don't think I can be paid to watch that unless it's like the last episode because I feel like that's the least raunchy. But I also think something along that can be said for the Heated Rivalry is like, it is almost word for word, like the book.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it is such a faithful adaptation, and that's what the people want. They love a faithful
adaptation. The book
adaptations.
lovers love a faithful adaptation. Yep.
Yeah. Well, also, Indie Bookstore Day is coming up on April 25th.
Yes.
Oh, so it's such a fun day.
Tell me all about it.
Everyone is out to buy books on that day.
It's so great. Joyous.
Everyone is so excited to be in a book's, like just the vibes, the energy level on Indie Bookstore Day is so much fun. And usually the store is packed out. So this is going to be only our second Indie Bookstore Day, but the first one we did was just such a smash hit that I'm really looking forward to this year.
Excellent.
As well.
Yeah.
Am I behind in the news? Did I just notice that your front window got decorated?
Yes.
With some art. That looks awesome.
So this was part of an initiative in Ferndale in the Downtown Development Authority. They did a art march throughout the month of March. They celebrated art in downtown Ferndale. And the woman in charge of it, Summer, really, she does a great job getting all the galleries, which did you guys know how many galleries we have
so
in
many.
Ferndale?
I think we have 5.
And if you count the library
now.
Yeah. And we have we're kind of a gallery. Yeah, we have 7.
And that is something to like be like, wow, we have that many galleries in downtown Ferndale. Not every city can say that.
Right.
And so we, as part of that, I'm on the Ferndale DDA. So that's a plug for Erin. But anyway, I wanted to do something outwardly for Art March to show that we were participating in this. And so I had a local artist. Her name is Paulina.
Shout out Paulina.
Woo. Delicate type. I asked her to do a window drawing, and she did a fantastic job.
God, she killed it. She did such I know I don't think it's feasible, but I feel like you should have her do different art throughout the year.
Yeah.
Like it was so good.
It's not going to be just a one-time thing. Yeah. She did such a good job. And actually, as a result of it, I didn't even think about the economic benefits of it. But the way she painted it, it's attracting people to that side of the street. And they're like, oh, I never knew you guys were here. And I was like, yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, and I don't know if this is always happening, but it's the last day of National Library Week when that comes around. I don't know if we've always been connected or if Indie Bookstore is always the last day of April. I haven't done my research on that.
I think it is. Yeah.
It's always like that last weekend, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Library Week's weird. Sometimes it's the first week, sometimes it's the second week. This year it's like the fourth week, so we jump around. So
yeah,
but we'll be doing cool stuff too. That's so awesome.
Every Indie Bookstore Day I've participated in, and I've done it, I think, for probably since I graduated college, since 2022, because I've been home with a job and had money to spend on things that weren't college. And I would bounce around, and there's also something called Michigan Book Hop, which is I have no idea who runs it. They are just these.
It's an organization of booksellers in Michigan.
I thought they were just mythical creatures at this point. They make bingo cards that consist of prompts and different bookstores in different regions of Michigan. And I remember 2023's bingo card, we were pretty spread out. Like there wasn't a ton. Like there was like, I had to drive way more to see more bookstores. Last year, the Detroit region, they had to like separate it because Detroit just had so many indie bookstores now. Like they're just growing rapidly to like they added like 2 more bingo cards.
Yeah, actually this year they decided to go against the regional bingo cards, and now it's just if you visited any bookstore in Michigan,
moly.
Which I think is really cool because now we can hop around Michigan and fulfill the bingo cards. Yeah. But that is a like,
and it starts on
how many bookstores have opened in the last year from last year's IBD to this year.
Interesting. So there's like a bookstore tourism sort of situation.
Yeah,
definitely.
And you can win gift cards and like prizes if you complete the whole bingo board. There's like, it's like a whole thing.
I feel like this is a within the last 10 years kind of a thing still.
Yes.
Because what's coming up, I think on April 18th is Record Store Day. And I can still remember when Record Store Day was like the biggest thing. And I'm not saying it's not big now, but it's kind of not as big. But in like the late 2000s into the early 2010s, there was so much energy around it. That was a little bit the early inkling waves of let's get back to physical media. We were mostly living on Facebook then, and it was a weird time, and Jack White was doing his Third Man record store, and it was just like, oh, cool. And people would kind of make pilgrimages to record stores. I think that is more so now happening with bookstores.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Bookstores are like the new, look at this. Look what's literally next to me. I'm sorry. Bookstores are the new vinyl. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm looking at our vinyl collection, literally. And I guess inevitably some bookstagramming and book talking has to do with that.
Yes,
for sure.
I will also say my plans for Indie Bookstore this year, I'm going to Columbus, which is where my partner's family is. And we're doing something called the Columbus Bookstore Crawl. And there's over 20 indie bookstores that are participating. And let me pull up the post because my
I'm going to take back some of the things I said about you, Columbus. Not that Columbus.
Sorry. No, but Columbus, I know it's Ohio, but Columbus is actually really, really hip, really queer friendly. They have one of the biggest pride parades like ever. So I do give them their flowers.
Emma and I went to Michigan State, so we don't have anything against Ohio State.
No, I root for Ohio State over Michigan. Sorry.
Yep, sorry.
So they're doing a crawl, 2-day bookstore crawl. And they're also doing a passport. If you visit 7 of the 20 participating indie bookstores, and you can win a gift basket. So like they have a whole map of all 20 bookstores.
Amazing.
I don't think we'll hit all of them. I will try to hit most, but like that's something too. And they also, I have to bring up Libro FM's golden ticket thing that they participate. So Libro FM is your alternative to Audible. Couldn't think of the word for a second.
Yeah.
And all of the money that you buy audiobooks with on Libro FM goes back to indie bookstores.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
So they do
love
this thing.
Libro FM.
We do. They're so great.
The app is way better than Audible too.
And it looks pretty. It has better colors. And they also let me make my like app picture a corgi listening to a book.
Amazing.
Amazon won't let you do that. And they do this golden ticket thing where indie bookstores can get a golden ticket, and the indie bookstore hides it, and whoever finds it gets a year of free audiobooks, like 12 free audiobooks, like one for each month.
Yep.
Cute.
It's so fun. I feel like Michael Scott when I'm putting that golden ticket in.
I went feral, I think, in Love and Other Books last year trying to find it, and then Elise found it right before me. I'm really bad at competing. Erin has seen me firsthand in like bookstore event like games competing. It's embarrassing, but I can't help it.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. Okay. Yes. So bookstagramming, book talking. That's really been a thing. Emma, can I get a hot take from you?
Okay.
It seems to me that you are very specifically a bookstagrammer, not a book talker.
Yes.
And I wonder if you had beef against the other one.
I don't have beef. Okay. I really appreciate everybody who can do thoughtful book talk content.
But it's a different vibe.
It's a different vibe, and I also do not have the bandwidth to create videos. I will do a silly little reel from time to time.
Sure.
And also, I don't love listening to the sound of my voice, hence why I don't always listen to our podcast episodes.
Oh, it's a great voice.
Because I can't. And then I also I get very nitpicky about how I look on camera a lot of times, and if I watch it too many times, I'm just like, ooh. Oh, sure. But I'm like, if I'm going to be editing a video, like I did like a video because I am also a rep for a local book merch company called Fables and Tales Co. And I did the video, and I took probably 20 tries. And in the end, my book was still upside down in the video. Yes. And I said, and you know what? It's going to stay like that. So I really like Tyler, who works at Love and Other Books. I'm going to shout him out because he's doing book talk and bookstagram, and he does a lot of video content.
Oh, yeah. And
it's so funny because my therapist goes, I don't seek it out, but Tyler's always the first thing on my Instagram and on my For You page. So many
people say that.
It's so funny. And because Caitlin loves, shout out Caitlin, loves Love and Other Books. So, but she's like, and she feels like she knows so much lore through me, but she's like, I always see Tyler no matter what. So like, I give props to everybody who can do film content. I run out of bandwidth, and I used to be the type of bookstagrammer. I started back in March 2019, who I would set up a scene. I would like do a flat lay. I used to have like a plywood board with like marble contact paper on it to create like a nice looking background. We used to have this wood table in my kitchen whenever I wanted to switch up my theme. I got burnt out really fast because I was like, what if I don't read enough books? What if I can't take the pictures? And now I just post whatever the hell I want, if I can say that. I already said penis, so hell's probably fine.
I think that's what people want anyway. Yeah. It's just like whatever the hell, you know? I feel like they're in with every social media trend, they go in and out. That flat lay, that, you know, superposed bookstagram content is going away, and it's more like fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah. Speaking of having a social media presence, that's just one of the many things you have to do as your bookstore grows. Reflect on almost 2 years of growth and what it's been like, and I don't know, shout out your staff too. It feels like it's just a special vibe over there.
Oh yeah, we are a family, and that came like unexpectedly, I guess. That was, you know, I had missions for my bookstore, but that was one unexpected thing, was like, this is the vibe we're going for here, is that we're family. And I think with the first employee I had, Abby, she was just my girl. Like, if I needed someone to talk to about something, she was there to talk about it. And my husband and I own the store together, but let's be honest here. My husband does the financials of the store, and he leaves all the other decisions to me.
Okay.
And so having employees that I could trust to to ask advice of, you know, because this is baby's first business. So, you know, I'm learning to be a boss in this. I am a natural teacher who then decided I wanted to open a bookstore. And then I was like, business ownership, what? Me? It just was never something that I thought I was going to do. And so when people are like, did you always dream about owning a bookstore? I'm like, no, because I never thought I could be a business owner. Anyway, I feel like I got off on a tangent here.
Memories, staff, reflections.
Oh, right.
Social media.
Yeah.
How far you've come, etc.
So we grew a lot from having Kaylee, and then came Tyler, which was awesome. And Tyler he was already an established bookstagrammer in the Metro Detroit area. So he brought a ton of followers over to Love and Other Books. Great. And still to this day, you know, people are adding us because of the content that Tyler brings in. And then we have Taylor as well, and all of my employees were very close, and we love doing what we're doing.
And you recently brought Sam on as your marketing.
Yes, thank you.
Person.
I'm not forgetting Sam. Sam owns my heart right now. So as we were growing, I really wanted to be done with social media. I'm not a bookstagrammer, and I never wanted to be. And so thankfully, I felt like we could hire a social media person, and Sam was in a full-time job until the day of us posting for a social media person, and she just kind of fell into our lap. She has done fantastic things and made me feel so much more confident about my job because she's dealing with the social media of it all.
Any favorite memories though that stick out in your head so far, for both of you? If you had a patron come up and say, "Oh my God, what a collection, Emma," or anything like that? Because wait, Emma, how long have you been here now?
I hit a year here on March 24th.
The timelines are almost like blurring over.
I have a memory. If I can jump in,
sure.
This was the day after he who shall not be named was elected. November 2024. The day after the election, and we were open, and so many people came into the bookstore on that day and just gave us hugs.
Oh, sure.
And that's one of the biggest days for me, is so they didn't know where to go, and so many people were saying, I don't know where to go.
Sure.
To feel safe right now. So they came into the bookstore, and just lovely to know that we are that place, that people feel comfortable and know that when they walk in our door, they're seeing someone who is understanding and empathetic.
Sure.
Of that feeling.
It's also a place they're going to associate a lot of serotonin with in general, and it's also going to be a place they want to make sure they protect. Yeah.
I have a couple. I feel like one of my favorite things was our first romance book club, which we hosted at Love and Other Books.
Oh, yeah.
And there was 17 of us.
Amazing.
And it was so beautiful and so much fun. I also occasionally host a queer romantasy book club over at Love and Other Books too. So every time I'm over there for that, it's always just such a good vibe. And we always have so much fun. And collection-wise, patrons coming up to me, I've had a couple people come up and be like, I love what you've done with it. I love the color coding system you have.
Yeah.
But I just remember seeing it all on the shelf for the first time. And it felt so good.
Yeah, I mean, for both of you, it is this moment of step back and look what you manifested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I've been manifesting so hard to have a romance collection somewhere. And also, I manifested so hard to even work at this library. Jeff,
did.
Erin saw me at some of my lowest lows at my last job. And me just being I'm trying to crawl into there.
So many different libraries that you were like applying to, and then this position became available, and I was like, oh, Emma, you're gonna
You saw me in the interview trenches, and I just remember getting that job here and immediately being trusted with my ideas, and just that was when everything really just started to like fully blossom. And I think something is so special having my favorite bookstore, my job, which I love, and it's also been my home for 22. How old am I? 20.
You're gonna be 27.
I'm gonna be 27
Eventually?
in November. Eventually, I will be.
Yeah.
So I've been here for like 23, 24 years of my life. I grew up here. And so it just, something feels so beautiful that I can go bother Erin across the street with a coffee and just sit and yap.
Oh yeah.
And occasionally help open mail because that's fun. And we get to like look at the fun new things.
Amazing.
And Erin also donates a lot of books to our romance collection. So I want to properly give you your flowers for that, because a lot of our stuff, because I will say like a lot of we did have a lot, but like I said, there's a lot of like major books or also like indie books that you've given me that we haven't had, because there's also something to say in the romance community about indie authors, and there's so many, especially in
and for
Metro
a reader
Detroit.
to see that on the shelf in the library, like, oh, I wanted to read this in physical copy, you know?
Because it's not always, because I know from my year at Barnes and Noble, indie books were always, I feel like they've changed their tune a little bit, but indie books were always kind of like a no, we don't really stock those, like it's kind of taboo. But seeing indie bookstores promoting and sharing and stocking indie books, and then being able to see that in your library too, just creates more opportunity as well, because the indie romance space is really like,
yeah, that's where
blossomed.
I started reading. When I got back into reading, I just read a bunch of indie romance, and for me to go into a bookstore and see the cover of my favorite indie romance, in which I've only read on e-reader, to see it in the flesh is so exciting. I don't know what it is. It's like, oh my God, you guys have this book.
Incredible. Erin, anything else you're looking forward to? You don't have to like reveal your secrets or anything, or give us any spoilers, but beyond indie bookstore, any big plans?
Gosh, we have so much going on this summer. I feel like summers are just where we come alive. We can have the door open, the breeze comes in. We've got so many events going on, both on and off site.
Something's happening May 28th.
oh yeah, Love and Other Books is our official bookstore sponsor for our Lisa Pierce author visit.
On May 28th, yeah.
May 28th.
Just shouting that out first. Unofficial start of summer.
Yep.
But beyond that, anything?
Unofficial start of Pride Month.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, Pride is always a lot of fun. We kind of like change out everything on the floor to just Pride, because that's
what the people want.
That's what the people want in June. And definitely. And then let's see. I mean, we could talk about summer, but we could also talk about October.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Hey, let's talk about October. Yes. What's coming up in October?
So, yeah, we have a group of people, and Emma is on the board of advisories, and so is Jeff, actually. And we are planning a band together book fest, which is highlighting banned and marginalized books or marginalized voices. And that will be the end of Banned Books Week. Banned Books Week is October 3rd through the 10th.
It ends on the 10th.
Yep.
And so, yes, the festival will be October 10th in Ferndale downtown at a number of locations. And we will have author panels.
This is wonderful.
Vendors.
For context, if no one's familiar with Banned Books Week, it's been happening for a while. Its two main goals was to raise awareness to current and ongoing attempts to ban or challenge materials that are offered on libraries and school libraries and bookstores. Also, then it's a celebration of your First Amendment rights to actually be able to just seek out the books that you want to. You have the ability to, and you can get them at libraries and you can get them at bookstores who are just fighting the good fight. Like the third step that has to go forward that doesn't always really get mentioned, and you're taking that, is also celebrate the authors too. Like that's important. I love that. That's what Band Together is really making a push for too.
Because they're also getting visibility. And also,
Right.
like, it's probably also, like, I can't imagine the mental toll being told your book is is disgusting, or being told it's got whatever the hell they're saying's in it, and that it's not suitable for children when that's the prime audience. And so, like, that's also, like, such a beautiful thing.
Especially when it happens to a first-time author who hasn't maybe been in the industry long enough.
Yeah.
And, maybe that's like, and this has been like their passion project. It's their one book. That's gotta be terrible.
Ferndale is just such like a good place for it too.
It's the right place for it, and I'm hoping that it can become more of a bigger thing and something that lasts in Ferndale for years to come.
It's
already expanding because now we have the library involved in a capacity.
Yes.
There are several other venues.
So excited.
Around town. Is it 6 venues in total?
Affirmations, 215 West, Library, the Bookstore, and Go Comedy.
Okay, awesome. And it's a day long event. Is there should people be on the lookout for a website launching or a social media?
Actually, the website is launched and social media is as well. It's at Band Together Book Fest, and then the website should just be bandtogetherbookfest.com.
If you Google it, it will get you there. And I'm also just going to point out, Band Together is BANNED. Band is in band books, but it's a play on words at Band Together.
Exactly.
Yes.
The pun works when you say it. It's great. And we'll have a link to it in our show notes too. Yeah. So a lot of cool things happening there.
Yes,
and it's so much fun to plan something in the community that also I went to last year, and it brought so many, like over 300 people came, and it was so beautiful.
Last year, my gosh, the quality of the festival last year, and it was in its first year. So shout out to Jessica for creating it, and in its first year, the amount of vendors, the amount of authors, and the author panels were shocking to me. Like I was part of the festival, and I learned so much about banned books at those author panels. It was great.
And it's also so important when, again, He Who Shall Not Be Named is also trying to strip away library funding once again for the fiscal 2027 year budget. And there's also more legislation going in trying to ban books regarding any kind of sexuality, gender orientation, just kind of sexuality orientation, gender identity. I just switched those words around. That's like actively ongoing. So it's just like, it's that bright spot in the midst of all the scary. And it's so exciting to continue to have these bright spots in the midst of all the scary.
Right.
For sure.
Yes, this is an event. Band Together. There is certainly like enrichment that can be drawn from it, but it feels like an opportunity for anyone out there who's thinking like, how can I get involved? How can I learn more? How can I support? It really is a chance for, I don't know, if you haven't yet, it's a chance to dip your toe into the advocacy pool. Come on in,
I'm really excited. Also, we have an organization named Authors Against Book Bans.
Oh, yeah.
This is a national organization, but the Michigan chapter of that organization will be at our festival.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to try to get this episode out by Friday, April 12th for the people at home who are listening to it. So that means you have 2 weeks to mark your calendars for Indie Bookstore Day coming up. Also remember to celebrate National Library Week. And also, if you get a chance, you can tune in to WDT on Monday, April 20th. I'll be on the air with Lisa Pierce talking about kind of all this stuff. all this stuff and more, and about her book, Motor City Love Song. Tune into a previous episode in our archives with an episode with Lisa Pierce about Motor City Love Song. Erin, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks. This was fun.
The pod here. Emma, thank you so much. ECs, thank you.
EC squared.
Yeah.
EC squared. We need it on a sticker.
Everyone at home, thanks for listening to another episode of A Little Too Quiet. It is the Ferndale Library Podcast, brought to you by the Friends of the Ferndale Library. Keep supporting indie bookstores. Keep supporting libraries. If you want to learn more about supporting this podcast, go to ferndalefriends.org and rate, review, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with more.